And last but definitely not least is our youth speaker, Marley Uyemura. She is here for the YLT, Young Leaders Training, that's taking place along with the National Council. Marley is a freshman at Cal State Fullerton. She has attended the YAC retreats before, and she's been very active in Southern District at Junior YBA. Marley?
Can you please join me in Gasho? We humans are social beings. We come into the world as the result of others' actions. We survive here in dependence on others. Whether we like it or not, there is hardly a moment of our lives when we do not benefit from others' activities. For this reason, it is hardly surprising that most of our happiness arises in the context of our relationships with others. Tenzin Gyatso, 14th Dalai Lama. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Hello everyone, my name is Marley Uyemura, and I am from the Los Angeles Betsuin. I was only 14 years old when I went through the Yak program. It truly saddens me to hear of the disbanding of the program as we know it. But I'm also so grateful to be given the opportunity to have the amazing experience and the chance to encounter irreplaceable DBFLs or Dharma buddies for life. 1 year before going to the YAC retreat in Sacramento, when I was just 13 years old, I first heard the expression Dharma buddies for life. From previous retreat participants, I knew that I wanted to know the experience of having Dharma buddies for life with those around me. I had the heartwarming experience of being able to be part of Yak Year 10 in 2014. As a part of the Yak retreat, we led services 3 times a day, ventured out of our comfort zone together, and we had the opportunity to bond, to both laugh and also share tears with one another. With these experiences, the YAC retreat was one of the best weeks of my life, and I will continue to cherish those memories for as long as I live. Fast forward to 4 years. I just finished my first semester of college. To be completely honest, there was a time where I hit a wall. There were many days where all I did was go to class and return to my dorm room. I would fake a smile so others around me wouldn't worry. I would rarely eat on most days, and I had moments where I would rather stay off into space or sleep my worries away. I was focused on the pressures that I felt were mine alone. In other words, I overlooked the one Buddhist math equation that I learned during my Yak retreat back in 2014. I plus I equals LOG. The first I stands for impermanence. While I knew that college would bring a substantial amount of change, I never thought it'd be so drastic. My dorm experience began with me living in a 2-person room, alone, for 7 weeks. Even though I've always had my own room, it hit me hard when I realized that I was living alone. Not knowing anyone on my floor at the start, I never had known such a feeling of isolation. After almost 2 months, I finally got a roommate, and that feeling began to subside. But that initial sense of loneliness never completely left me. Next, LOG is an acronym for Life of Gratitude. Living a life of gratitude is the outcome of living with awareness of the 2 I's. So what does the last I mean? It stands for interdependence. Without it, I would be able to truly live a life of gratitude. As I began my adventure into college life, I was blinded by my worries about myself, and my concerns were only about me and how I would do. But all along, the missing variable to this equation, my interdependence with others, was in front of my face the whole time. My Dharma buddies were there for me the whole time. They could have been on the receiving end of the calls that I refused to make. They were behind the text messages that I failed to respond to. They are there behind the many doors that I refuse to open during my time of depression. My Dharma buddies are my friends, family, and all the people who remind me that home isn't just a place. Home is where there are people who care about me. Interdependence reminds us that while we may walk a life path of our own, it doesn't mean that we are ever left to venture alone. During the last weekend of this past January, I had the wonderful privilege of being able to attend the Yaks Summit retreat hosted at the Mountain View Buddhist Temple. Although I was now considered old to a lot of the participants in attendance, I was reminded that the door to good company is always open, and that a lot of my Dharma buddies up and down the West Coast and all the way to the East Coast are only a text or phone call away. While we attend different seminars, conferences, and retreats, what all of us now young adults seem to remember the most are the relationships that stem from the common ground of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism that we share with not only each other, but also with our caring Dharma buddies who facilitate these events. Even if, in life, we all took the same classes with the same books and curriculum, it would be the bonds of caring that we form with our teachers as well as our classmates that make learning together so worthwhile. If you were to ask me a detailed question about any topic that I could have picked up in Dharma school, I may or may not be able to answer it. But my knowledge of the Buddhist teachings or the world's greatest questions does not define my character. I've become who I am today because I've had the privilege of being raised by the most amazing mom out there. She has given me the foundation of unconditional love and encouragement that were always the kickstart I needed to get up and running. I've come to feel that we will never know if something is good or bad for us until we explore it for ourselves. With my mom's love and support, I've always been encouraged to seize opportunities that made me get out of my comfort zone. Because of this, along the way, I have met so very many people who I can now call my friends and Dharma buddies for life. I've learned that when we are outside of our element and maybe even feel alone, we are always together. These are the experiences that help us grow as individuals and also help us grow closer as a family. The reality of interdependence is an essential teaching of Buddhism. This doesn't mean that we are living for someone else. In the end, life isn't about living for the people we wish to please. But interdependence is about realizing that we are living each moment because of others. As expressed by the Dalai Lama in my opening meditation, we come into the world as a result of others' actions. We survive here in dependence on others. And there's hardly a moment of our lives when we do not benefit from others' activities. For this reason, it is hardly surprising that most of our happiness arises in the context of our relationships with others. In other words, we exist each day because of others. Our happiness is connected to our relationship with others. And what I have learned is that the only way I can express my gratitude to my Dharma buddies, and the only true way I could ever begin to thank my mom for all she has done for me, is with my happiness. Our need for compassion and interaction with other human beings is not just something we crave. It is even more than something we need. Our interdependence, our caring, and love for each other, even during the most difficult of times, is reality. Knowing this, I want to thank my mom and my many Dharma buddies. I'm the person I am today, especially because of you. And I will always try to live my life of gratitude. Please join me in Daschle Meditation. We humans are social beings. We come into the world as the result of others' actions. We survive here in dependence on others. Whether we like it or not, there is hardly a moment of our lives when we do not benefit from others' activities. For this reason, it is hardly surprising that most of our happiness arises in the context of our relationships with others. Tenzin Gyatso, 14th Dalai Lama. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you very much, Marley. And join me once again in thanking all of our wonderful speakers for the Dharmathon. This now concludes our Dharmathon. I hope you have a pleasant evening.